If you're feeling lost right now, like your life is just drifting and you're not sure what you should be doing, I want you to hear this, because I've been there. I used to wonder why life felt so confusing until I started listening to something much greater than I am. That's when I found my purpose, and that's when I found medicine. So, quick disclaimer, I'm not Hindu, but I was given this book by a Hindu doctor. So, this is the Bhagavad Gita, and that roughly translates to the Song of God. In the book, the Bhagavad Gita, there is a very special word, and it's called Dharma. Please correct me if I'm wrong. My pronunciation isn't always the best. Dharma is duty, basically. It is your divine purpose. And inside the Bhagavad Gita, it actually says, it is better to live your own destiny imperfectly than to live in imitation of somebody else's life with perfection. Whew. What a great little one. And also, inside the book, Dr. Lav Kapadia, he wrote down, Trey, never stray from the path, but if you do, the worst mistake is to not get back on. Pretty fire little knowledge is there. And if you haven't read this book, I definitely suggest it. I didn't always know my purpose, but the moments that I prayed the most, that's when my purpose felt the clearest. That's when I felt like God was actually walking with me, guiding me. And when I actually invited him into my personal life, it almost felt like I always knew what to do next. So for you, to find your purpose, you start with silence. Unplug. Read spiritual texts. Meditate. Pray. Ask God or the universe to help guide your path. When you slow down enough to hear the whisper of your heart, that's where the Dharma begins. My dad was a Marine, and then he was a cop. Somebody who was literally built not to feel pain. And then he was a person that couldn't move without it. Multiple injuries, multiple surgeries. I watched him go from being able to run around and exercise with me to not being able to walk at all. I was just a kid. I remember feeling completely useless. I knew I couldn't help him. While all the other dads were running around with their kids playing baseball, mine was in pain. I remember going up into my room and trying to make like little braces for his knees out of bungee cords and tape. I really thought that I could fix him. Nothing worked. And that's when the idea of healing somebody became personal. How about you? Can you reflect on a time that you felt helpless? Like there was nothing that you can do in the situation that you were in? Write down 3 painful moments of your past. What themes come up? Your deepest wound might be pointing directly to your greatest purpose. I used to dream of designing cars. I absolutely loved engineering. I loved the thought of engineering. But after my dad's injuries, I thought, what is an engineer of the human body? I longed to build something that could help people move. And that, for me, evolved into healing. And one day, I saw a black doctor speaking in Spanish to a Mexican family. And everything changed again. That moment hit me. He wasn't just healing bodies. He was healing souls too. He was healing trust. He connected. He understood. And he inspired me not to only focus on learning science, but also learning culture, language, human connection. So for you, identify somebody that inspires you. What qualities do they have that just resonate with you? Then I challenge you to reach out, learn their story, and then try and find out a way that you can incorporate their story and the things that guide you, the things that excite you, and form your own purpose from there. To me, that doctor planted a seed. I wanted to be just like him. Not just treat people, but understand them, their language, their culture, their stories. I spent the next 10 years learning Spanish. Now I speak it every day. With my wife Sophia, with my patients, and with pride. So a way that I would put this into words is Invest in growth that aligns with the qualities that you want to have. Your purpose is often a blend of your ideas, your skills, your experiences. So learning languages or tools or trades that can help you serve deeper will help you find your real true purpose. Back in middle school, I lost my grandmother to diabetes. She was only 54 years old. It shook me. She was my family's glue, my family's safe space, and suddenly gone. This was the first time that I understood the ripple effect that an illness can take on a family. The illness doesn't just affect the patient, it fractures the family. So my grief became my fire. I advise you to look into what breaks your heart. Listen to it. That grief, that pain, that's sacred. And that becomes your compass. Purpose often comes from honoring those that we've lost by doing work that would have helped them before they passed. Man, when I was younger, I poured absolutely everything into baseball. That was what I did. But my YouTube feed, it was all medicine. Orthopedic surgeries, anatomy, school. I was obsessed. I was absolutely obsessed with healing. I also really loved pitching. I loved the power that I had on the mound. The ability to put my mind to something and then absolutely executing it, that was awesome. But I realized that no matter how hard I threw or how nasty my splitter was, I was never going to learn how to heal an ACL or take care of a patient in hospice. And I think it's that power, the power to heal, was something that called me way louder than baseball ever could have. So look into your passions. Look into something that you've trained your whole life for, or maybe something that you've always done. How can the skills and the discipline that you've grown throughout all of those years maybe be redirected to serve a greater purpose? Excellence in one area can help you prepare for a purpose in the other. Discipline absolutely translates. If you're super great at everything, or super great at a certain skill, but it doesn't fill your heart, you need to ask yourself, what deeper calling is this preparing me for? Because of all those long nights and longer days at the baseball field, that constant discipline of working on my craft goes directly into nursing. I can spend the long nights studying. I can spend the long days on my feet, 12 hours at a clinical shift, because I've already done it. I've been there with baseball. A long time ago, maybe when I was 14 years old, I made a promise to God. And I said, God, if you gave me this arm and you gave me this mind, I will use both of them to my best ability to help as many people as I can. Because I knew I was blessed. I was blessed with an arm. I was able to throw harder than most people when I was that age. And I was blessed with a curious mind. I know that God gives gifts to people to help us serve others. So I figured, why not just make it my why? Make it my purpose. I know my gifts, and I know I can help a lot of people with them. So make a commitment. Tell God, tell the universe, or tell yourself, I will use what I've been given to help others. And that single decision will give you more clarity than any job title ever will. So there's this amazing book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It's short, but it's powerful. It changed the way that I thought about purpose forever. It's a story about a young shepherd who leaves everything that he knows behind in search of something greater, something that he felt like he was called to do. Along the way, he learns that when you pursue your true purpose, your personal legend, the universe has a way of helping you. Paulo Coelho writes, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. That line changed me. Suddenly, I just felt like I wasn't chasing something alone. It felt like the world and God were aligning just to help me. The story of Santiago taught me that your purpose is already written inside of you. If you have the courage to follow it, follow the signs, even when the signs don't make all that much sense, that you're going to find your treasure. But first, you have to believe that you're worthy of it. So for you, you need to start noticing the signs, the patterns, the gut feelings that you get, the doors that open when you commit. Read The Alchemist. You have to. Reflect on it. And then write down your personal legend. That one goal that just keeps on showing up in your heart. Take the next small step towards it today. One foot in front of the other. The universe moves when you do. Robert Greene, the author of 48 Laws of Power, once said something amazing in an interview. I think I saw it on a YouTube short a while ago. He said to go back to your earliest memories, before the world got loud, before the expectations, before the opinions, before the pressure. That's where you'll find the clues to your purpose. Whew. And when I really thought about it, before the grades, before the jobs, before I even knew what success meant, I knew I just wanted to help my dad walk again. I didn't want the money. I didn't want the fame. I just wanted to heal somebody that I loved. That's where it all started. So think back to when you were a kid. What did you love doing when nobody was watching? Who did you dream of being before anybody told you that it was unrealistic? Go back to that version of you that you feel like you forgot. Go find them again. In the Bible, it says, "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths." This is Proverbs 3:6. Basically, when I made God a part of every single step that I made in this world, not just the big ones, not the purposeful ones, but every single step, it felt like I was just magically given more purpose. It makes sense. I stopped chasing status. I started choosing service. That's when medicine became more of a career. It became my calling. So what I would advise to you is to stay connected. Journal, prayer, look back to scripture, sit in silence. When you're plugged into your source, you'll walk straighter, even if the path looks crooked. And if you feel lost, instead of talking, start by listening, pray, ask, sit still, and then move with faith. Your purpose isn't a job title. It is not a salary. It's how you serve. And when you serve with your whole heart, that's when you'll find your purpose. If you made it to this point, I just want to say thank you. Really appreciate you. And subscribe if you're chasing a purpose, not a paycheck. Love y'all. Peace.